In this video we will explain how to use the LaserCube Ultra MK2 with the CubeOS software. Let's begin with an overview of the design and main functionalities. Main menu. On the main screen the interface displays control mode selection, settings tab, settings for the current selected control mode, in this example ArtNet, additional tabs such as status, info, help and about. Settings tab. Let's explore what's inside the settings tab. You can configure parameters for projection, audio, connection, network, USB MIDI, ILDA input configuration, which is available only when an external DAC is connected via the ILDA ports, and general settings. Status info. This tab provides detailed information about the LaserCube, including battery status, connected slave devices, free buffer and buffer size, SD card capacity and free space. PKTRX events displays the number of received packets. In LaserOS control mode, this number increases rapidly as projection data packets are received. Click this entry to reset the count. DAC empty events shows the number of buffer underrun events which may occur due to the lost packets, disabled interlock or test pattern selection. Click to reset. DAC full events indicates the number of buffer overflow events. Click to reset. PKT loss events displays the number of lost packets, UDP packets lost in common over Wi-Fi, especially in congested areas with many competing devices. This may result in short, intermittent projection dropouts. Moving to a less congested area or using a wired Ethernet connection can help. Click to reset. MAC address shows the unique MAC address of each Ultra MK2 unit. Help tab displays a QR code linking to the official wiki with the full user manual. About tab displays software and firmware information. Control mode. Here you can choose between 6 modes: LaserOS, ArtNet, DMX and 3 standalone modes: Visualizer, Playlist and Laser Show. Bottom screen information. The CubeOS interface shows battery status, currently selected control mode, connection mode, maximum scan speed. This may vary depending on the control software, warnings if the interlock is disabled, current IP address when connected to a network, and reminder if no SD card is inserted. Also, you'll see the confirmation when external MIDI controller is connected. CubeOS controls using the encoder. To input information, for example Wi-Fi credentials, go to Network Settings, then Wi-Fi Client tab. Use the on-screen keyboard and encoder to enter the SSID, which is the network name, and password. You can use a similar input method for setting values like the DMX or ArtNet address. Use the encoder or plus/minus buttons to change digits. For precise input, tap on the digit area and adjust one digit at a time. To exit edit mode, press and hold the encoder for 2 seconds. Projection settings. When using any connection mode except LaserOS, which manages projection settings internally, you can configure image settings, color balance, safety zones, and test patterns. Using a test pattern as a reference, you can adjust power, which is the brightness or intensity, fixed rotation, size, you can lock X and Y ratio or edit axes individually. Flip projection, horizontal and vertical. Position X and Y sliders. Or reset to default settings. Color balance tab. To enhance color output, you can adjust maximum RGB, minimum RGB, or gamma settings. Select the property, adjust as needed, and press the encoder to save. Of course, you can still reset to default. Safety zones. When enabled, safety zones define keep within or keep out areas. A preview is projected, green for keep within, red for keep out. In out-of-zone areas, the laser power is reduced based on the attenuation settings. For example, 100% attenuation is equal to full blanking. Then zone shapes like rectangle, circle or ellipse. Then adjustable size and position. These settings are useful for targeting termination zones or excluding areas with cameras or projectors. test patterns. Used for verifying internal hardware operation such as RGB thresholds and calibration. Audio settings. Audio settings allow configuration of output volume between 0 to 100%. This property can be MIDI mapped. Output delay compensates for audio processing latency in external devices, for example speakers with DSP. Important note, delay settings are only applied when the show is restarted. Input source. Built-in mic or 3.5mm stereo line in. Input gain, max line or mic gain, adjust for optimal responsiveness in audio reactive visuals. Too low is equal to weak response and too high is equal to distortion or overdriven effects. Connection mode tab includes LAN server, Wi-Fi server, LAN client, and Wi-Fi client. Select a connection type to control the unit via LaserOS, ArtNet, or Liberation. Recommendation for multiple LaserCubes and in congested Wi-Fi areas, use Ethernet in LAN client mode. Without a DHCP server, devices will self-assign API-PA addresses. Important note, changing the connection mode will restart the LaserCube. Confirm by selecting Yes with the rotary knob. A separate video will cover connection modes and network settings in more detail. USB MIDI. To use MIDI devices, go to Settings and USB MIDI and enable USB. Important note, USB MIDI is not available in LaserOS, ArtNet or DMX modes due to protocol conflicts. When a compatible device is connected, a status message appears briefly. The controller can be used, for example, in playlist mode to switch content and control parameters. More details will be provided in the upcoming MIDI controller for MK2 tutorial. And last but not least, general settings. In this place you can set LCD brightness and enable compatibility with original LaserCube. Thanks for watching.